Okay, put your phones away, earbuds out. Okay, same rules apply. If I find any of those things, I will take it. And you know I will. Okay? So, here's how this is going to go. We are going to have 30 minutes for the Democratic candidates up here that you see. They are in order based upon the polling results from our poll this week. So Mr. Johannesmeyer is in the middle. He's your front runner. And as you get out to the edges, okay, poll numbers drop. Okay, so your front runners are in the middle there. Okay? Got that? So, during the debate, okay, please, no applause, no hooping and hollering, no booing. This is not an interactive experience with the audience. Okay, these candidates are up here to express their opinions and kind of have a fun, worthwhile debate. So if you guys can't contain yourselves, we'll just kick you out. Okay? So please. Got that? I hear way too much talking. Okay, so they're going to go for 30 minutes, and then we'll switch it up, and we will have the Republicans go there for 30 minutes, and we do have some polls that we want you to take about who won the debate in between. So you'll have to get your computers out at some point, okay? Got that? At this time, then, I'm going to turn it over to our moderator here, Mr. Nathan Bramley, political aficionado. So, please.
All right, welcome to the Democratic primary debate. I'd like to wish you all luck. The first thing I'd like to do is I'll just call on you. We'll start in the middle, work our way out. I'd just like you to give your name, your state you're from, and your opening statement of why your fellow Democrats should support you.
Hello, my name is Andrew Johannesmeyer, and I'm from Nebraska. Two heavy on my mind today: gun violence and climate change. We have more gun deaths than any other civilized country. It is embarrassing that we should let the children of America be shot down in schools without doing anything about it. I will do something about it. However, none of this will matter if we don't combat climate change. I do not want my children, my grandchildren, to grow up in a world where they don't see the sun because of the ash. They can't go to Florida because it's underwater. They don't know if giraffes are real or fictional. Vote for me, thank you.
I am Eddie Schweikert from the state of New Hampshire. If I'm elected president, I'll never give you up, I'll never let you down. I'll never run around and desert you. I'll never make you cry, I'll never say goodbye. I'll never tell a lie or desert you. But in all seriousness, I do think I am the most qualified president. I think I have the most real-life experience. I think I have a good knowledge base of these issues, and I hope tonight I can prove to you that I have fresh ideas for this country.
Thank you. Mr. Williams.
Hello. Alright, I'm Dominic Williams, and thank you for the enthusiasm, but I'm from the state of Mississippi, and if you'd like to be as president, you know, you can get some big things done, like the main thing, the legalization of marijuana. Not only is it's beneficial to the state, I mean, hey, tax revenue, all the money we can make, and then the next important thing is healthcare. It needs to be available for everyone, and not like the right prices and not super high. And vote for you.
Hi, I'm Jill Stark, and I believe you should vote for me because my main priority is giving rights to women, more rights. They deserve the rights. And also climate change is a huge deal, and we need to be aware that it's happening. So please vote for me.
Hello, I'm Max Frost from Georgia. I decided to run presidency because it's time to make America work for the people again. We need a new take on the presidency. We need a take that will solve the issues plaguing everyday Americans, so we can move not left, not right, but forward.
Hello, I'm Jack Bush. I'm from Arizona. First off, I love this country and what it offers. I'm for the people and I want to help all Americans. I love animals of all kinds. I love the outdoors. And I love America.
Hi, my name is Alex Vandenberg. I'm a proud Washington native. I decided to run for president because working as a defense attorney for the last 17 years, I've seen the injustices that people are facing based on their race, religion, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, and that's not what America should be. America should be a place where we're able to exercise our First Amendment rights and exercise our freedom. So vote again, make America dandy.
Hello everybody, I'm Celeste Timberlake. I'm from the state of Missouri. I've spent my life as an environmentalist, and one of the biggest issues besides that I'm dedicated to is health care. Like one of our other debate candidates has said, gun deaths are very rampant, but what he did not mention is the fact that the vast majority of gun deaths are due to suicides. And most Americans don't die from gun deaths or other things that most of us fear, but in fact lack of health care. And I think this is one of the biggest issues that we face.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Cole Whalen from the beautiful state of Iowa, and the main issues I'm campaigning on are climate change, gun control, and immigration.
I'm Ashley Nemec, and I am representing the state of Florida. As Jill Stark said about the rights, the equal rights for women, but I also think that it should also be surrounded by the LGBTQ community. They should have the same rights as everybody. And also, education is very important. Starting it at a very young age can develop a little child's mind to be more smarter and educated, to also have what they want to know to do in the future for their career. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Max Trenhale, and I'm from the lovely Four Roses, Nebraska. You should vote for me because there are some issues that we just can't afford to compromise over, like climate change, for example. We're either going to save the world or we're not going to. And if you're in the middle of the road, you're going to get run over.
All right, thank you very much. Now, as we begin this debate, I would like to remind all of you, you have 30 seconds to respond to your question. At 30 seconds, I'll start waving at you. You'll have a couple of seconds to finish your sentence. If you continue to go, I will just interrupt you and move on. Okay? So with that being said, Mr. Johannesmeyer, do you believe that health care is a fundamental right for all citizens? And if elected, would you support Medicare for all?
I'll answer your question with a hypothetical scenario. Imagine I don't have bones. I was born with a condition where I don't have bones. I lived a very healthy life, but the doctor said I don't have long to live. Now, is it ethical for me to not have medical insurance just because I can't afford it? No. I will have a backbone for America, for those of you who have them and who don't.
Is there anyone who would like to add to that? Go ahead.
Okay, well, I believe healthcare is a fundamental human right. However, I would like to point out healthcare. Something a lot of people aren't talking about with Medicare for all is take a look at Obamacare. Republicans vowed that if under Obamacare, they would repeal it as soon as they took power again, and they did. Or they didn't, but they almost did. They were one vote shy. So Medicare for all is a more liberal policy than Obamacare. It is government-controlled healthcare that would get rid of private insurance. With that being said, Republicans would try to get rid of it, and it is more likely they would succeed because it is a more liberal policy. So while I support affordable health care for every American, I think there are ways to achieve it without government-provided assistance, because I do not want to see a country without private or public health care.
Is that acceptable, Ms. Stark? Is that an acceptable response to the healthcare issue?
Absolutely.
A ringing endorsement from your partner there. Okay. Is there anyone here that would like to stand up to Edwin as he says that Medicare for all is just simply too liberal?
I honestly completely agree. Personally, I am not the most extreme Democrat, and while yes, healthcare should be a right to all citizens. Just making it government mandated like that just will not work. There's too many people against it. We have to put in regulations for insurance companies that make it so they can't take advantage of it. And insurance companies right now are taking advantage of millions of Americans, and they're just making profits off of people's health. And I believe that is a huge issue, and there's better ways to solve it than just government mandating everything.
Okay. Go ahead.
I believe in Medicare for all as a goal rather than a first step. I think that we should be moving towards Medicare for all one step at a time, but I think that eventually we should have no private health insurance. Because where a private company where a private company can try to increase their profits, they will. And that's not always best for the consumer. People in this country are dying because they can't afford health care, and that is absolutely unacceptable.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to a new topic, Mr. Williams. The Obama administration went to great lengths to support same-sex marriage and to protect the rights of all citizens despite sexual orientation. Would your administration stand on the issue of same-sex marriage and religious liberty?
Well, we live in a world where it's not a me thing, it's an us thing, and if the us, that part, they want to go ahead and be with the same partner, I think we let them do it because, I mean, who's going to stop them? It's 2019, we're at a day and age where no one really cares what you identify as sexually, and I don't see why we should treat them any different.
Right.
I'd like to respond to that. I think, while I agree that we should be living in a day and age where that's true, sadly, members of the LGBTQ plus community do face discrimination still. It is sad. If I were elected president, I would pass the Equality Act. I would sign it into law day one.
Okay, thank you very much. Now moving on to some more political events that are happening. Mr. Bush, considering that both your father and grandfather were Republican presidents, how can we be assured that you will be a true Democrat?
I'm different than them. I'm a lot more wiser than they were, and I love the country. I want to make it better, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Hey,
you have my word.
Thank you, Mr. Bush. Now, some scandals have emerged, particularly with the Williams campaign. As you know, your Twitter account was temporarily blocked. As well, the governor of your own state, the governor of Mississippi, went on record claiming that you were not running for president, that you're actually running for Congress. Is your campaign prepared to deal with all these issues as we move forward?
Well, the plan is to build a strong America, and I have to start with myself. So, I mean, we're doing fairly well. I mean, it's kind of Mr. Dude's fault on the last one, but we're going to let it slide. But now she knows, and now we're just going to try and do the best we can to make America a good place.
Ms. Vandenberg, you've heard these, I largely know men here in the middle arguing about who's the better candidate, and I noticed some of your female counterparts talking about women's rights. What do you think we should do about women's rights in this country?
I definitely think the government should continue to fund Planned Parenthood because it's not only beneficial for women to know what reproductive rights they have and what access they have to contraceptive services, to health care, to sexual health education, but Planned Parenthood also helps everyone. It helps both men, it helps women, it helps the LGBTQ plus community. It gives us all access to, like I said, sexual health. I know Nebraska, where we're at right now, is one of the most populous states with the most STDs, and that's not cool. And people should really be educated and should be able to have a safe place where they can go and continue to receive good and very cheap health care.
Thank you. Ashley, would you like to join or like to add anything onto that?
Going off the base of the women's rights, there's also some other things you have to consider. Well, you have to consider it that women get less paid than men. And it's very unfair for those women who might be a single mom and then they have to care for their children. They may not get the same raise as a man does, or else they get less pay because of it. It's not fair for women to get different pay because they are a different sex than men.
Thank you so much. Just one more question here before we go to commercial break. Mr. Whalen, many Americans want to close our borders and put harsher restrictions upon immigrants that want to come into America, thus cracking down on illegal immigration. What would you tell those Americans, and how does your immigration plan address these concerns?
Now, I understand the argument that both is coming legal is what you like. But the reality of the situation is that our current immigration system is slow and unreliable. Most immigrants are put in staggered timelines or have to rely on mere luck to get into or merely rely on family for anything. My immigration currently spans the lottery of visa acceptance. I, as I do not possible to follow.
Is there anybody like to add on to that? Go ahead, Mr. Handler.
All of our ancestors were immigrants, okay? We need to remember that. We need to respect them, and we need to apply that to today. We need to support legal immigration as well as help asylum seekers.
Thank you very much. With that being said, we will go to our first commercial break.
Because I believe Democrats fight for the rights of the people and hold those in power accountable.
I vote Democrat because I believe in equal rights.
LGBTQ plus rights.
Because Democrats support the environment.
Vote Democrat. We stand for progress, equality, and unity.
Peaceful and organized by the National Democratic Party.
I'm going to be on this debate stage today. Watch me. Unlike some other candidates, I won't be enforcing vegetarianism, and I won't be wasting my time talking about cows. I'll be the one with the fresh ideas, the realistic promises, and maybe I'll get back a few jokes too. I'm Eddie Schweikert, and I approve this message.
PTSD ever since. There's nothing that's gonna help me. I don't know what to do.
This is why I support legalization of marijuana on the federal level.
You're under arrest for possession of marijuana.
I also support the decriminalization of marijuana. I support these because it will boost our economy, lift us out of debt, and end the opioid crisis.
I'm a Democratic presidential candidate.
As your president, I plan to get every American citizen $1,000 a month to America.
I believe in Medicare for all. I want to fight climate change to save the future of our nation. Of course, I'm all for going green. And my most important policy, correct.
Ms. Stark, we're going to start with you. You've made it abundantly clear that you are making women at the center of your campaign. A few states in middle America have been taking an interesting approach to abortion. passing laws that forbid people to abort children based on gender or race. Would you be in favor of a bill that said you could not get an abortion specifically because of the gender of your baby?
I believe that's extremely unethical. I think it is up to the woman to decide that and whether they are ready for a child or not. It does not matter what the race is, it does not matter what the gender is. Whether they're not ready for a child or not, they shouldn't be able to, the government shouldn't be able to decide what they have, what they should have or should have not.
Okay, was there anybody who'd like to jump on that topic? Go ahead.
For anybody out here in the crowd who strongly opposes abortion or is for restrictions upon it, there was a period in America where abortion was, in fact, illegal, and I advise you to please educate yourself on that period. I do not have enough time to talk about the horrible things that have happened. But there was a lot of unnecessary deaths on both the mother's part, and women still sought abortions out. They just did not get them in a safe medical way.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Schweiger, you recently ran a ad claiming that some of your opponents were maybe too focused on animal rights. That was the implication. Can you please explain those attacks?
Well, I don't know if it was too focused on animal rights. I think the approach you were going for, Andrew, if I understand, would be to combat climate change, correct? Is that okay? So while I respect your efforts, I don't believe government-enforced vegetarianism is the best way to go about that. I think citizens should have the right to decide what goes into their body.
Well, thank you for your strongly anti-animal rights ad. I don't know, I support animal rights. I think they should have rights. And I also think the meat industry, I know the meat industry is terrible for the environment, and we should cut down on it.
I agree we should cut down on it, and I do support animal rights. However, I would like to add that there are other ways to go about it than government-enforced vegetarianism, which you advocated for in your campaign announcement video.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Williams, you're polling near the top with the two men to your left. What's going to really enable you to be a better candidate than either Mr. Schweiger or Mr. Johannesmeyer?
Well, I think I have a strong voice. I think I have a strong opinion that can lead people in my way. I mean, I typically get along with most people. I mean, I'm a pretty nice guy. Not trying to toot my own horn here, but I just think I'm a really likable guy, and I have like views shared by a majority, and I think I just understand a bunch of these guys. I mean, they're not built like that.
Let's start.
Well, it seems to me the only thing you stand for is recreational marijuana.
Well, the reason for that is because our country's in debt, and I mean, the other things we try not really working, so why not legalize something new and see what we can do?
Well, I'd like to point out to you that it is illegal for the government to benefit anybody from any sort of drugs, so it would not directly benefit any federal government.
Well, I mean, sure, that's fine. That's fine. I don't really want to argue with you about that. To me, it's not really about the money, it's about others. We have health benefits. I mean, that doesn't directly benefit the government, so.
Okay, thank you very much. Before I get to my next question, I want to let you get Max in on this one. Go ahead, Max.
I was just going to comment that you can't make legislation out of charisma alone, Mr. Williams. Make legislation out of charisma alone.
Okay, thank you very much for that spirited exchange. Now, this is an open-ended question. Please let me know if you'd like to tackle this one. The United States deficit has reached $17 trillion. Does it even matter at this point? And if it does, what are you going to do about it?
A big part of our national debt is the military budget, which is $7 billion and higher than the next 7 countries combined. If we cut that budget, we could significantly reduce our debt every year. This, combined with taxing rich people and rich corporations who can afford to pay these taxes, would definitely reduce our debt.
Anyone like to respond to that? Hold on, we'll go with Max.
I definitely agree with Andrew on this one. The United States spends more money on its military than the next 7 countries combined, a total of $649 billion. The money spent in the military alone would be able to completely destroy America's deficit in, I believe, about 30 or so years. So it's quite a bit of cash that we're spending on those tanks.
All right, Ms. Vanderberg, anything?
I was speaking with my campaign people, and I'm going to trace back a little bit to legalization of recreational marijuana. We were cranking out some numbers, if you will, and it's projected that California is expected to receive $15 billion in sales and $3 billion in taxes. Those numbers sound pretty good to me and help me fight off national debt. I don't know about you guys, but that's one state alone. It's a very populous state, and I would almost guarantee that other states, Colorado, maybe some people in the Midwest, East Coast, would probably match and not exceed those numbers. So we can definitely achieve that.
Mr. Whalen.
As cool as legalizing marijuana is, how much money we get out of it, $17 trillion is still a pretty significant amount of money. So maybe that should be our only game plan. My game plan would probably be implementing the tax minimum for taxpayers exceeding $1 billion and increase corporate taxes by 1%.
Very good. Mr. Frost, are your policies going to do anything to stop this $17 trillion debt, or is it just going to raise it?
Well, my policies are completely funded from money that's already in the economy. We're not printing out any new money, so it's not going to put us more into debt. I'm worried about the people that are benefiting off the American people that are not giving back. Companies like Google and Amazon that pay zero in income taxes, we're going to put a 10% VAT tax on them so they can give back to the American people.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Bush, the countries of Iran, North Korea, and Russia have been very antagonistic and aggressive with countries in their region, and even with the United States. Does the United States need to be concerned with these countries? Are they a threat to our national security?
Yeah. You see, we're America. We're the best country in the world. I'm not scared at all. And if I was elected president, I would personally fight all of them, the leaders, and destroy them so we can protect America and the people.
Sorry.
Didn't that start World War III?
That's what you think.
Ashley, could you please jump in on this, please?
I don't agree with what you're saying, that we should just go and attack whatever country because you think that we are big, we're bad, that we always have to do this. We had a really good compromise with Russia when President Reagan was elected president. Do you want to start World War III, like what Jill Stark was saying?
Just to be clear, Mr. Bush, do you want to fight a war with all of them, or do you physically want to fight the leaders?
I want to physically fight the leaders. Not World War III at all. That would not be good. But just the leaders. And I would destroy them.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm sorry we're running out of time. We do have to get those elephants on the stage here in a little bit. So, what we're going to do is we are going to do closing statements. Please, 15 seconds only on why you should be the nominee for the Democratic Party. We will start with Max here on the end, and we will work our way back to the middle. Max?
America needs someone who will take a hard stance on these issues, and there's no middle ground when it comes to pressing questions like climate change. The choice shouldn't be between letting fossil fuel companies destroy the world or compromising and only letting them destroy the world.
Thank you. Ashley?
Everyone should just look about what is going on in the United States. Always come up to people who are running for president with questions and make sure that they actually know what they are doing.
Thank you. Mr. Whalen?
I believe I'm more qualified than my peers up here because while some of them have some good ideas and promises, except for UBI, that's just terrible. It's because we need someone who's also someone who's determined to be changed, someone who can reach out.
Ms. Timberlake?
Okay, we need somebody that will support the middle class. Despite our economic growth, most people have not seen any benefits and have actually gone There needs to be somebody who's willing to take the middle stance to make things work and be able to benefit more people and make sure that people don't end up in touch and poverty and support the class.
This is Vandenberg.
Although it's been an honor to share this stage with my fellow Democratic presidential candidates, I just want the people to think about who would you want to help reform America's legislation? What do you see for the next few years? And just know what's going to make America the best it can be.
Mr. Bush.
See, when I was a kid, my father asked me, "What do you want to be when you grow up, sport?" I knew my answer right away. Looked him back in his eyes and said, "Dad, I want to be the president of the United States. Because I love this country, I love what it offers, and I want to help it make it better."
Mr. Ross.
I think we need to focus on the problems affecting every American, and one way to do that is with a universal basic income. It'll increase the livelihood, the buying power, and the overall community of our America.
Let's start.
I believe you should vote for me because I'm a woman of the people. I don't pretend to be a Republican, so I have a better chance of winning. And so I believe in universal health care and women's rights. Please vote for me.
Mr. Williams.
We need someone tenacious, exciting, and committed in office, and I think I can be that guy. I think I can be the new voice of America to really help out and give a change in the world. And remember, it's not me, it's us.
Mr. Schreier.
Any of you out there who feel marginalized or underprotected, I will fight for you and I will accomplish an agenda that benefits all of us, you and your future. Go to Joe 30330. No, just kidding.
Mr. Johannes.
I will destroy gun violence. I will destroy climate change. I'm anti-crime and anti-terrorism. Something nobody else has said. Maybe they're pro-crime and pro-terrorism. Vote for Amy Johannes for a better today and a better tomorrow.
All right, give them all a hand.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, well, we're going to switch up here. Democratic candidates, if you want to shuffle off that way. Republican candidates, if you want to come on up here and fine, I got your name tag here. While you're in the audience here, please pull your computers out real fast, go to WNN, and then take the Democratic poll that should be active now. We'll start in about 60 seconds. If you go to the Google site, and click on the little port tab and go to the government simulation, you'll see it says Warrior News Network. Okay? Click on the little arrows, dudes. And you can see if you click on Warrior News, or click on right there and click on Warrior News Network. And then just click on Democratic Presidential Primary Poll. Okay? Got that? So go ahead and take that here while you guys are kind of finishing that up. Okay? We will turn it back over to Mr. Bramley here so the Democrats get their 25, 30 minutes here. Or sorry, the Republicans. Sorry, the Republicans. Alright? Sorry, I was confused by some of the people I saw on stage. Sorry, Mr. Bramley, did you hear my joke?
Welcome to the Republican primary presidential debate. I'd like to welcome all of you here and like to wish you all the best of luck. What I'd like to do is start off with just a nice quick statement. We'll start in the center and work our way out. Please let us know who you are, where you're from, and why we should support you for the Republican nominee. Please keep your answers to 15 seconds or less.
I'm Meredith Matz, and I'm from Georgia, and I'm seeking the Republican nomination for president. Some are going to come here today and give you the same cookie-cutter answers as you would normally think that they would. I am not. For me, the essence of good environment is to blend the wisdom of the ages with the circumstances of contemporary times. You can't put me in a corner and you can't label me. My slogan is "In compromise we unite." I promise to be level-headed, rational, truthful, and reliable.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jacob Vincentini, Republican from California. I am what the Republicans need as a nomination because I'm a strong Republican who believes firmly in Republican values, but I'm still open-minded enough to reach my hand across the aisle and work with Democrats to bring change to our great nation.
Mr. Forsberg.
I'm Seth Forsberg. I'm from the state of Iowa. I support an free economic market. I support more education on gun control. And I also support making our border security stronger.
Hi, I'm Elijah. I'm the former state party chair of Georgia and now a proud Iowa citizen. I think you should vote for me because America currently stands on the edge of a new world. The world currently lacks leaders, and only a strong and I can do that here. Thank you.
I'm Jacob Lang, and I run on libertarian ideals, and I'm for pro-gun, laissez-faire, and I will support the military. And you should vote for me because I know what I'm doing. Taking economics before, and I'm a lot of that.
Good afternoon, my fellow Americans. I'm Owen Beckenauer from the great state of Ohio. I plan to keep this free market system that we know and love, to keep it running nice and smoothly. I plan to support the Second Amendment to the fullest degree, and I will come up with rational ideas to solve health issues.
Hello. All right, my name is Aaron Pierce. I'm from Florida. I'm running for president because I believe it's time for the government to get out of the way. Government should only affect the lives of citizens who need its help, and so that the economy can strive like it wants to. I promise I will protect your civil rights and your family because government should only be there when you need it.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ashton Sullivan. I'm from I'm Ashton Sullivan. I'm from Texas. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you fake truths to make you happy. I think I am the best for president because I know what I'm talking about and I've done my research on gun control, on the First Amendment, on abortion. What you need to know, I will have.
All right, well, let's get into the actual issues here. Please restrict your answers to 30 seconds. If you see me waving at you, that means you've got to 30 seconds. I'll give you a couple seconds to finish. If you keep talking, I will interrupt you and move on to the next question. We'll start with you, Mr. Vincentini. Would you appoint Supreme Court justices that would overturn the court decision of Roe v. Wade, which legalized abortion?
Well, first of all, nobody likes the idea of abortion, okay? Not even Democrats like the idea of abortion. I believe that all life is precious and needs to be protected, so yes, I would. I am firmly pro-life, and I believe that everybody gets the right to live, and everybody should have the right to live in our great nation.
Ms. Matz, would you like to respond to that?
Yes. I just wanted to say that you can't, I support the law, and the law is Roe versus Wade as of right now, and you can't amend that law unless you have 38 states to agree with you to amend that law, and I can definitely name at least 10 states that are not going to agree with that off the top of my head. New York, Chicago, Maryland, Detroit, the list just keeps going. So if you have a solution to how you can make it pro-life, I'd be interested to hear, but as of right now, it doesn't really seem logical.
Well, you said 10 states, and you listed a few cities in there. The 10 states you said, 8 states, so I think it's very practical to make that.
All right, Mr. Crowd. Mr. Beckenauer, would you like to join this conversation?
I would like to point out that the question in general is just kind of a bad question. I would never to elect even more qualified people for the positions. And I do agree with Mr. Vincentini when he says nobody likes the idea of the death of a child, but I do think that the laws that kind of support abortion are a little shaky with the, it's the woman's right to privacy.
Ms. Sullivan.
I do believe that I also agree that no one likes the idea of abortion. However, many Democrats will say it's not born yet, it doesn't have rights yet. However, it has the potential of life, it has the potential to grow, make connections, and love. And that life should not be taken away, that potential should not be taken away from anyone.
Thank you very much. All right, Mr. Forsberg. Many Americans want to close our borders and put harsher restrictions upon immigrants that want to come into America, cracking down on illegal immigration. What would your immigration policy be?
Okay, so what I would like to do is 500,000 illegal immigrants came into our country over the last year alone. And that cost our country a total of $118 billion. And so if you don't close, you have to, I'm not saying build a wall, I'm saying we need to make our border security stronger because that is costing our government more money. Or it's not costing our government, it's costing our people more money. And I think if we don't do it, we're gonna have a serious problem with our economy. And because they're not, I mean, they are benefiting our country, but at the same time, they're causing more money against our economy.
Thank you. Mr. Lang, anything you'd like to add on for your immigration policy?
I'd like to agree with that and just say we do need to enforce the law for regulations on immigration. And we can't just let people come in freely. We need to make sure we can screen them properly and make sure they're here lawfully. And just make sure it's secure.
Thank you. Now, there have been some back and forth between your campaigns. A lot of it, Ms. Matz, has been directed toward you. One campaign fundraiser called you a rhino, a Republican in name only. Another person called you a wolf in sheep's clothing. And one voter said, I think Meredith's great. She's the best Democrat I know. How do you respond to these claims that you're actually not a Republican at all?
Quote Ronald Reagan for a second. So I'm actually 80% with the Republican Party. 80% with you. That doesn't make me an enemy to anyone on the Republican Party. In fact, that makes me a friend to most of them. I do have some views on the Democratic side, but I do have an immense amount of views on the Republican side as well. So it makes it kind of difficult to focus when you're only trying to look at the Democratic views that I have.
Mr. Droz, do you accept that? Is your colleague, Ms. Matz, a real Republican?
I don't believe so. When I look at the stage, I see mostly pseudo-Republicans. People who are running as Republican because they think it will be easier to win the general election if they already have the Republican vote. I can almost guarantee you if Ms. Matz earns the Republican nomination, a lot of her views that are right-leaning are going to move a lot more toward the center coming during that general election.
Actually, that's not true because a lot of people up here, some in specific, have said that they believe certain things to certain PACs and certain places that they've gotten their money from, and they said the exact opposite to some others. So they're clearly trying to work both sides, and I just think that coming out publicly and telling you completely what I truthfully believe shows that I will be reliable, and my opinions actually will not switch if I were to make it to the general election because I'm being truthful right now.
Seth, did you want to jump in on this?
Yeah, so one thing I'd like to say is you said you're 80% Republican, but on your last ad you showed that you wanted stricter gun control, you wanted to make our borders more open, and you want to make Medicare real. I'm sorry, but out of the 8 you had out there, that does not show 80%.
First of all, I actually did not say that I wanted to make immigration more open.
You said you want to make illegals more, or you want to make illegals legal.
Yes, that's correct. I would like to make...
And so you're telling me, where are you going to get the 18 billion?
Actually,
Where are you going to get the 18 billion?
I'm telling you that
Where are you going to get it? Hold on, crowd. Okay, Ms. Matz, Mr. Crossman, would you please let her, Ms. Forsberg, please let her answer the question. Where are you going to get the money, Ms. Matz?
I am talking about making... Okay, so I would like to make there be more security on the borders, the exact same views as you have. All I was saying with that is that I would also like to make the process for immigrants a little bit simpler for them to come in legally. That way they do not have to come in illegally. It just makes it easier for them to come in.
Thank you. Ms. Sullivan, I'll get you in a second. We want to get Mr. Pierce on this. Mr. Pierce, talking about politics, it seems that your campaign's been struggling to get momentum. What are you going to do to prove to the American people that you're the right man for the job?
Well, my entire campaign is based on my honesty, and I promise to you, everyone, to America, that I will be an honest leader and I will do what I say. But regarding my campaign, me and my campaign manager have come up with more ideas to get the word out to you guys and what I truly believe in.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, hello, I'm Ethan Fisher. I'm the NPC of the GOP, and I'm here to give you an announcement. Now, I have to forewarn you, there is a red wave coming, and this red wave consists of freedom and the rights of people and peaceful sovereignty. That right there is what I stand for. Do not let the Democrats fool you into thinking that's what they want. They want your money, and then it's goodbye, see you next election cycle. I will encourage you to register and vote by October 8th. It is crucial. I am Ethan Fisher, and I approve this message.
Hi, my name is Nathan Brandon. I was a sergeant in the U.S. Army. Did one tour in Iraq in 2005, 2006, and I'm supporting Jake for president. He's never going to forsake us, and he'll always be with us.
Hi, my name is Tony Knight. I'm a retired battalion fire chief. I served in the fire service for almost 40 years. I've known Jacob for many years, and his values and integrity, and what he would do in a bid for presidency. So I fully support his bid for presidency, and I know that he will be fiscally responsible, support our military, and support first responders. So please take the time to vote for Jacob Knight for president.
Hi, I'm Jacob Constantine. I'm a Republican presidential candidate out of the state of California. I'm sure that many of you are wondering, what really is the teeny difference? Well, let me tell you. The teeny difference is protecting citizens' rights to protect themselves with the Second Amendment. The teeny difference is keeping the federal government's hands off of small businesses. The teeny difference is tapping into the booming market of recreational marijuana. But most of all, the teeny difference